Welcome to SOLIDWORKS, the Engineering Design Process, Lesson 2, Section 4. In this section, you'll learn how to create an exploded view of a subassembly, and then reuse that view in a higher level assembly. You'll also add exploded lines to an assembly to indicate and highlight component relationships. An exploded view is a useful way to visualize an assembly because it allows you to see all the different components that make up the assembly and how they are mated together. Exploded views are commonly used in building instructions and can be illustrated as engineering drawings. To demonstrate the concept of exploded views, open the dynamo rotor subassembly. On the Command Manager, under the Assembly tab, click Exploded View. You can now move the components of the assembly apart. Click the first part and notice that 3 axis arrows appear. Click the axis you wish to move the part along, and then drag this arrow to move the part to the desired position. Repeat this process for the next 2 parts. Once all the parts are exploded, click the green check mark. The next step is to add the exploded view lines. Exploded view lines illustrate component relationships and relate the exploded parts to their location in the original assembly. Click Exploded Line Sketch located right next to the Exploded View button. Select the rod first and then the inner surface of the second part. This surface must be selected in order for the exploded line to go through the center of the part. Next, select the inner surface of the third part because the second part fits onto this surface. Lastly, select the inner surface of the fourth part. A yellow line appears to indicate where the exploded line will be. Click the green check mark to view the line and click it again to apply the changes. As mentioned earlier, an exploded view is just another way to visualize this assembly. You can easily return to the standard assembly view. Do this by clicking the Configuration Manager tab, expand the assembly and double-click XPL View 1 to exit out of the exploded view. Double-click XPL View 1 again to return to the exploded view. This motion of collapsing and exploding the assembly can be viewed as an animation. Right-click XPL View 1 and click Animate Collapse. You just created the exploded view of a subassembly. Now you can create the exploded view of the complete assembly and save time by reusing the exploded view of the rotor subassembly. Open the full assembly and click Exploded View. Select the housing, click the X-axis, and drag the part away from the assembly. Next, remove the parts from the top of the assembly until only the rotor subassembly is left. Select the bolt, click the X-axis, and drag it away from the assembly. Now, move the dome away from the assembly. There is one more component to remove. Select it, click the X-axis, and drag it away. Now, the rotor subassembly is the only thing that has not been exploded. But since you've already exploded the rotor, you can reuse the exploded view. Open the Feature Manager design tree and select the rotor subassembly. In the Explode Property Manager under Options, click Reuse Subassembly Explode to see the exploded view. In this section, you learned how to create an exploded view of a subassembly and how to reuse that exploded view in a higher level assembly. You also learned how to add explode lines to indicate component relationships.